Well, good afternoon. Welcome back to the Buter Gymnasium, campus of Lexington Catholic. Gary Ball, Aaron Rose here. We're set for Lexington Catholic Lady Knights as they take on the Lady Raiders of East Carter out of the Ashland area of northeastern Kentucky. Hager Easterling is the coach of East Carter. They're a team that's been ranked in the top 20 this year, and they're a team that's got three prolific scorers in Bailey Brainerd, 16.5 a game. She's a junior. Kristen Mayo, 15 points a game, a junior. And Haley Hall at 12.5 points a game, a junior. And they're an outstanding ball club. It will be a handful for Lexington Catholic. They got three players in double figures last night in their big win. Caroline Osborne had double figures, Ashley Freebus, and also Jay Ballard who hit the big half-court shot that you see on the highlights. And Sarah Bond did a good job, and so did Pinkerman and the bench for Scott True. They're 5-4 coming in. East Carter is 4-2 coming in. Played a really good schedule. East Carter, as we said, with the record of 4-2, the Lady Raiders, and they have a really, really good basketball team. And this will be a good, outstanding challenge for Lexington Catholic. As we said, Brainerd is a really good shooter, and then they have Mayo who can shoot the ball. You'll hear those three names a lot tonight, Brainerd, Mayo, and Hall, because they do most of the scoring, about 80% of the scoring for the East Carter basketball team. Of course, you remember West Carter and their legendary coach back in the day, when they had that great run of winning state championships. And East Carter right there in Ashland area, a lot of great basketball in that area with Ashland and, of course, East and West Carter and teams like that and in that particular area. And, of course, Lexington Catholic, a lot of tradition in basketball, state championships, and they come in coached by Scott True. They're led by Osborne, who averages double figures, Freebus, who's in double figures, Ballard, who also can score in double figures. So those are your three big scores for Lexington Catholic. And Aaron Rose joins me again on the broadcast. Aaron, on paper, this looks like it could be a pretty good basketball game, but like Coach True said, Catholic definitely needs to cut down on the turnovers. Absolutely.
That was something that we were really talking about earlier in the earlier broadcast between Mercer County and Dunbar. You know, East Carter, again, just another very strong team out there. And, I haven't gotten a chance to see much of them this year, but I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, it's because they got three the prolific scorers. You got Bailey Brainerd, who averages nearly 17 a game, Kristen Mayo, who averages 15 a game, and Haley Hall, who averages over 12 points a game. So you got three prolific scorers, and Catholic's going to have to really D up on them here this afternoon. It's only about 4:15 here in Lexington. Earlier, Aaron and I, at least I sat in on the second half, we had Mercer County with a convincing win over Paul Lawrence Dunbar. And Mercer County, I tell you what, Aaron, they're impressive.
Yeah, the Lake twins.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a good couple players there, but I'll be quite honest with you though. Everybody on that team can be a scorer. They're a team that really is good at spreading the ball around. Their assist numbers have to be amazing.
Yeah, we didn't get a final stat sheet on that game, but we'll try to get a stat sheet, and we got a halftime stat sheet. But Mercer County led something like 37-11 at halftime. So a good second half, really, all in all, for Dunbar.
Absolutely. If you played a game with two halves, Coach Runyon has to be happy with that second half of play. Obviously, in the very beginning, when you weren't here at that point, but at the very beginning, you're looking at, 3 10-second violations. They just could not beat the press. And I believe we're going to have a national anthem here.
I think so too, Aaron, so we'll pause for that.
All right, we'll be back in just a minute here on PrepSpin.
at Buter Gymnasium, campus of Lexington Catholic. Coach Danny Haney Court, Gary Ball, Aaron Rose here for high school basketball, and Caroline Osborne being announced as one of the starters. She averages double figures, a senior. And then, of course, you got Ashley Freebus, a sophomore, averaging nearly double figures for Scott True. Jay Ballard, the freshman who hit the half-court shot yesterday in that big game against Belfry.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, half-court. And then, of course, the other starters, Lakin Pinkerman, the junior, who does the dirty grunt work. And then Sarah Bond. Seems like Sarah Bond's been playing here at Catholic forever. I mean,
yeah.
And she pretty much has been a regular in that lineup for the last 3 or 4 years. So Lexington Catholic comes in a winning record now. They won 2 out of 3. They won 3 out of their last 4, Aaron. They won 2 out of 3 in the Bahamas, and they won their game here yesterday against Belfry. So a team that's got a 5-4 record, but a team that has won 3 out of their last 4.
How about going to the Bahamas? That's amazing.
At that point in the season, too. I mean, they just did finals this week.
Yeah.
Mandy,
I'm pulling up all the records here.
Mandy Langstaff being announced as a starter. Langstaff. The other starter will be Melina Clark, the junior, 5'10". And then it'll be Bailey Brainerd, who we talked about, Kristen Mayo, and Haley Hall. Those are the 3 big scores for East Carter. They're in the white with the maroon, and Lexington Catholic will be in the visiting blue here tonight. We're just about set for girls' traditional bank Holiday Classic basketball here at Lexington Catholic. The winner here moves on to the quarters tomorrow here at Lexington Catholic. Jumping it up, it will be Sarah Bond. She will go up against Bailey Brainerd, the big scorer for East Carter. East Carter in the white, Catholic in the blue. We're set for basketball here. Tap is up. Brainerd wins it, taps it in backcourt to Mayo. Mayo's going to bring it across and tries to kick it in the corner, and a good attempt to save there by Langstaff, but stolen back by Lex Cath. Coming there with it's Ballard. Ballard, she kicks it back over to her teammate there, Bond. Bond gives it back to her. Ballard now, they're swinging around the right side to Osborne. Caroline looking for cutters. Comes out top to Pinkerman. And good defense there. Ball knocked away. Great defense being applied there by Mayo. She almost came up with a steal, Aaron.
Tell you what, I saw that ball bounce off of the head of one of the players. She got rattled. I couldn't tell who it was, but
Freebus kicks it in the corner there to her teammate, and that is Pinkerman. Pinkerman out to Ballard. Catholic being very deliberate here. These teams played in summer ball back in the summer, and Coach Drew said it was a good test for his ball club. And they turned it over. He said, we can't turn it over today, and they're being very patient here. They don't want to turn it over. Osborne to the basket, cut off. Osborne and tip knocked away, picked up down low though, and a jump ball called as Sarah Bond picked it up, and jump ball called in the possession arrow favoring the Lady Knights.
It is weird seeing the Lady Knights as a visitor on their own home court, but
it's very odd.
But you know, it's a holiday classic, so
yep.
However it falls, that's what happens.
East Carter very active with those hands. I see that right off the bat.
They are. They like to get in. I can't find the right word for it, but they just
get in the passing lanes.
Yeah. They like to be a little catalyst here.
Lexington Catholic, boy, they were knocking down threes last night. Let's see what they do here. Haven't attempted a shot yet. Osborne has it. Caroline out top. Kicks it to Freebus. Freebus looking, holds it high over her head. She's working there on Hall. Now they try to go down low, and with the ball there is Osborne, but stolen away by East Carter. They lead it out to Hall. Hall to the basket, off glass, no, tapped around. We're going to have an over-the-back call against East Carter, and it's going to go on Melina Clark. That'll be her first foul.
I'll tell you this, Haley Hall did a great job of getting out in front of the defense there. And, watching the Catholic possession, talk about patience.
Oh, yeah.
It may have been a little bit too much there. I don't think they were aggressive enough during that possession.
Steal, ball stolen there from Brainerd. Leads it out, and they go to Hall. Hall to the basket, off glass, good.
They're going to have to keep an eye on Hall, definitely.
She likes to run that floor, doesn't she, Aaron?
Absolutely.
And her teammates are looking for her in transition. 2-0. Hall with the first basket of the ball game. Angling right is Ballard. She's going to be bodied up a little bit too much there by Kristen Mayo, and that'll be the second foul call against East Carter. First one was against Clark. 2-0 here early on, 6-minute mark of the first quarter, and East Carter leads the Lexington Catholic in the traditional Bank Holiday Girls Classic. That is Jay Ballard. Ballard, well, really good defense by East Carter. They're all over Lexington Catholic. Comes over to Pinkerman. Pinkerman back over to Ballard. Ballard trying to get a pick there from Bond. Now angles back the other way. 5:40 to go. Ballard can't get a shot off. That's been the, boy, East Carter's right up on him. Great defense. That's Caroline Osborne. Osborne looking for cutters, wide open, and shot put up and in. Nicely done there by Pinkerman. Well, Pinkerman just made a nice cut to the basket, got the ball turned, and scored, and we're tied at 2.
What a way to get behind the defense there.
Patience paid off, didn't it? We're tied at 2.
I think they found the right balance.
Hall plays catch with Mayo. Now they go to Brainerd. Brainerd thought about it, but hands it back to Hall. Lines up a deep 3. Back of the rim. Battle for it. And picked up there by Lexington. Gather good rebound by Pinkerman. She's got a basket. Got her a rebound. Here's Ballard down the middle of the floor. She comes over now to Freebus. Freebus left side free throw line extended. She passes back out to Osborne. Osborne pounds the dribble down. She's cut off. They swing it now to Bond. Bond thought about it, but knocked away by East Carter. Bond probably should have went ahead and fired that one. Bounce to Mayo, and Mayo misses the layup. Mayo battling for it, gets it back, hands it to her teammate. Little easy shot won't go there for Clark, and rebounded by the Lady Knights. Tied at 2. Low scoring, but both teams being very patient with that basketball, Aaron. Haven't had a whole lot of shots.
Absolutely. Looking at the possessions earlier, it seemed like Lexington Catholic was a little bit too patient trying to find that open shot. In the second possession, I think they found their balance.
That was Freebus who got a 3, but she couldn't get it to go. And here's a good pass right side. That shot won't go there for Langstaff. Whistle, foul call, knocked out. They're going to call a foul on Lexington Catholic. Called it on Caroline Osborne, her first. 2-2 score, and we're near the halfway mark of the first quarter. East Carter gets it out to Brainerd. Now goes to Hall. She's a deep 3 and thought about it, actually.
She didn't pull the trigger, though.
Momentarily. Comes back over to Mayo. Goes to Brainerd. Down low, and with the left hand put up and in nicely by Clark. Clark left hand. It's 4 to up and in by Painter. And it's 10-2 all of a sudden. East Carter and this pressure causing problems here for Lexington fouling the back court. And it looked like just checking in as well was Hannah Gallion in there for East Carter. And Aaron, all of a sudden you look up and they lead it 10-2 because their press is giving Lexington Catholic a lot of problems. 2:43 here. Trying to get it in as Osborne. And there's Freebus battling, and it goes out of bounds. They're going to say last touch by East Carter. .237 in the first quarter, 10-2. Let's see if Catholic can get something going here offensively. Pass down low, shot put up, foul called as they got it in to Given, who just checked in. Gallion picked up the foul at the stripe. Free throw knocked down there by Mayo Given, the freshman. Makes it 10-3. Given the southpaw, looking for the second and knocks it down. Good free throw shooting. They shot free throws well yesterday to Catholic. 10-4. East Carter on top. Lexington Catholic trying to get their offense on track here on one basket and a couple of free throws. 2:29 the first. They swing it around to Painter, who's had 2 buckets right off the bench. Now it goes to Brainerd. Out top, Hall. Hall works baseline, cut off there by Osborne. Now kicks it over to Painter. Now it goes to Bailey Brainerd. That's Mayo with it out top. Mayo skip pass it down low, and Brainerd and puts it up, missed it. Battle for it, jump ball called, and possession error will give it to East Carter. 10-4, East Carter on top. Couple of subs back in for Lex Cav. And number 13 for Lex Cav is Katie Witt, so Witt checks in. And also checking in is Courtney Bailey. And there's a shot put up and in by Brainerd. First basket by Bailey. Brainerd averages 17 points, and it's 12-4 East Carter. We said they've got 3 weapons. A little quicker passing going on there, and that ball's knocked away by East Carter's Kristen Mayo as she battled Osborne. Taylor Jackson, a 5'4 sophomore, checks in for East Carter. 12-4, minute 48 in the first quarter here at the Traditional Bank Holiday Classic. Ballard over to Osborne. Bailey, who just checked in. Bad pass there, and it's going to be knocked out. Last touch, though, by East Carter. 12-4. East Carter by 8, a minute 30 in the first. Mile Given will put it in play for Lex Cath. Ball knocked away, and it's going to be tracked down there by Jay Ballard. Ballard over to Witt. Witt dribble, can't put it down again. She knows that. Looking for teammates. And we're going to have a 5-second call. Minute 16, Aaron, it's been all East Carter so far. Their press has really caused problems for Lex Cath.
Yeah, talking about the press, that was something we saw heavily with Mercer County.
Yeah.
A lot of teams utilizing this press today.
Pass goes to Brainerd, and they call
3 seconds.
3 seconds on Brainerd, so give it back over to Lex Cath. And they really need to get their offense on track. They played so well offensively yesterday against Belfry and knocking down threes. And right now they just can't get any good open looks against this East Carter defense. They're all over them.
They're going to have to move the ball around a little bit more and look for the open opportunities, and feet are going to have to move.
Here's a steal by Hall. Hall stops and pops from 15, and it rolls off. Battle for it and pulled off of there by Painter, and she gives it to Brainerd. Hall open for a moment, cut off. Skips it to Brainerd. Brainerd stops from 10, in and out. Nice rebound there by Bailey.
40 seconds left here in the first quarter of action.
Pinkerman, and that's going to be knocked away there. She telegraphed that pass. Brainerd knew that was coming and nearly picked it off, took it coast to coast. 30 seconds here. We're going to have back in Ballard for Lex Cath. And in the game will be Taylor Hall. Both teams play a lot of players. Go really deep, like Mercer County. They went about 10 or 12 deep, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely unreal how many players they could play deep. And I'll tell you this, I'm looking at some of the players coming off the court.
Freebus had a good look one goal. Battle for it, and coming out there with it, East Carter, 19 seconds, and there's going to be a reaching foul that's trying to clear it out of there. I've been impressed with Harley Painter. She had 2 buckets right off the bench, 4 points, and she gets in there and she's scrappy at about 5'6".
Like I was saying, looking at some of the players for Lexington Catholic, I see a few bits of frustration on their face right now.
East Carter's a really good team. They're ranked, and Coach True was concerned about this team coming in.
Last second
Hall
three.
Won't go for Hall. Picked up right side and won't go for Painter either as the first quarter comes to a close, and it's all East Carter. The Lady Raiders out of East Carter 12, the Lady Knights of Lex Cath 4. We'll be back with second quarter action of the traditional Bank Holiday Classic on Night Vision and PrepSpin.com.
Life is a journey, a series of steps, and along the way, we'll all need someone we can count on for good advice and sound decisions to keep us balanced and healthy. Someone who really listens and truly cares, with a healing touch and a human heart. Like the doctors of Lexington Clinic, personal care you can count on every step of the way. Lexington Clinic, your doctors for life. Life is a journey, a series of steps, and along the way, we'll all need someone we can count on for good advice and sound decisions to keep us balanced and healthy. Someone who really listens and truly cares, with a healing touch and a human heart. Like the doctors of Lexington Clinic, personal care you can count on every step of the way. Lexington Clinic, your doctors for life.
Gary Ball back for the second quarter, and Aaron, you're going to tell us about our sponsors here on PrepSpin and Night's Vision.
Absolutely. We want to thank our sponsors, Traditional Bank. Of course, they are the sponsor for this whole tournament. We want to thank White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics. We also want to thank UK Federal Credit Union. And lastly, Collins Bowling Centers, Eastland and Southland Drive. And boy, it'd be fun to bowl for the holidays, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. I bowled in high school.
Did you?
Yeah, it was fun. I had a good time. Wasn't sanctioned in by the KHSAA. It was just a club sport, but man, we had a good time. We had a good bowling. We had a good team and a lot of fun. Collins Bowling Lane. Go check them out. East Carter down low. They swing it to Clark. Clark cut off on the floor and picked up by Lexington Catholic. Then stripped away and stolen by Hall. Hall looking for teammates to Clark. Mayo. Haley Hall has it. Back out to Mayo. Down low with Brainerd. Brainerd, good touch pass. Shot won't go there for Clark. And picked up by Caroline Osborne. She plays for Lexington Catholic. She's got the basketball. 7:09. She's trying to cut into this 8-point lead for East Carter. Catholic trying to get their offense going. Just 4 points, Aaron, in that first quarter for the Lady Knights.
You know, like I was mentioning earlier, just frustration with sitting in on the faces of Catholic. And I'll tell you this, it's one of those things where Coach True, he's calling timeout right now. It's one of those things where Coach True needs to tell his players, it's only one quarter, it's only one quarter.
Yeah.
You know, we are still in this. You know, tides can change just like that. So, you know, Lexington Catholic by far is not out of this yet.
What they got to do really is they got to start setting more picks for to get girls shots and to free guys up, and that's what they got to do: set picks, maybe a little bit more backdoor cutting. The nice basket that Pinkerman made, she made a nice cut to the basket, got the bounce pass and laid it up. You got to do more of that because East Carter really gets after you defensively with that man-to-man.
Talk about an interrupting defense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they are. They're getting into the passing lanes and just wreaking havoc right now.
Osborne double team as soon as that's the thing about East Carter too. They're double team as soon as you get an inbound pass. They got two girls there.
Suffocating.
Ballard back over to Osborne. You got to get more movement that's going on right now. That's for sure. A lot of standing around. Ball knocked away there and picked up Osborne, knocked out by Bailey Brainerd of East Carter. We're at the Traditional Bank Holiday Classic here at Lexington Catholic. Danny Haney Court. Computer Gymnasium, Gary Ball and Aaron Rose. And who's after this, Aaron? We got a game after this one?
Yeah, coming up, I'll have to pull up our schedule here.
Now, if Catholic plays in the old gym tomorrow, we will not have that game
right.
on PrepSpin. And if they lose, they will play in the old gym. So the only way I'd be back tomorrow is if Catholic wins this game. Ball knocked out there by Clark because we do not have the technical capabilities in the old gym.
No, that's the unfortunate thing about having to work with internet equipment. It's just you got to have wires everywhere, and it's just one of those things where it's hard to transition. It's going to be Butler and South LaWarren coming up after this one.
So that'll be right here, and we'll have that one for you on the Traditional Bank Holiday Classic. Well, that was good defense there on Brainerd, a really good player, and she's got 2 points so far. Lob down low and tripped as she's going to the basket is Bailey. No call. 5:55 to go in the first half of action. East Carter, obviously a big-time talent step up from Belfry yesterday, who Catholic just manhandled, 53 to 30. 5:46 in the first half. It's 12-4. East Carter the lead in leather, as I like to say. Langstaff, and that long three won't go. Clark rebounds, spins, won't go. Clark battling and pulling it out of there is Ballard.
Really, nobody in this quarter has much of an answer for anything.
Ballard strong move to the basket and missed the layup, though, and pulled out of there by Mayo. Good move there by Ballard and lead out pass to Hall. She lays it up and in. Hall with 6 now. She has 6 of the 14. 14-4. East Carter lead is 10 now. Ball kicked there by, I bet Brainerd plays soccer.
Instinctive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's the second one she's gotten.
With her left foot.
Yeah.
So it looked like a good soccer player to me.
I'd say so.
She goes out of the ball game, and checking in will be Gallion, who we saw earlier. Gallion Hannah is a 5'9", 8th grader. That's the thing about girls basketball. A lot of 7th and 8th graders play at the varsity level.
You're absolutely right.
Osborne leads it out, free miss, and it's stolen away there by Mayo.
Just following, a whole bunch of the girls teams this year. Yeah, everywhere I've been, I see quite a few of them.
Mayo to Gallon, and she lays it up, and then she's fouled. So Gallon from Mayo, and it's now all of a sudden you look up at 16-4. It's getting into dangerous territory here for the Lexington Catholic girls, I think. I mean, you don't want to get down too many with your offense sputtering like this.
Yeah, and again, I'm looking at players coming off, and I see a little bit of frustration. But the thing I'm seeing too is Coach True right there giving words of encouragement, saying, hey, try this next time out.
Pinkerman to the basket and
Nicely
scores. Pinkerman with that second field goal makes it 16-6. Timeout, 4:41. We'll be back on the Traditional Bank Holiday Classic, Lexington Catholic, 16-6. East Carter leading Lex Cath here on, of course, Night Vision and PrepSpin.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
Gary Ball with Aaron Rose back at the Danny Haney Court campus of Lexington Catholic Buter Gymnasium here for the Traditional Bank Holiday Classic. 16-6. East Carter by 10 over Lex Cath. And Aaron, what do you think? What does Lex Cath need to do? They're down 10. What can they do to get back in this ball game?
You know, it's stuff that we've mentioned in this broadcast already. They need to move their feet. They need to see how they can break out of this double team trap, because I mean they're trapping them all over the court. So they just need to be able to move the ball, move the feet, and with that will come the open opportunities.
Hall knocked down the baseline jumper. She's got 8. 18-6. Here comes Freebus. Left-hand dribble, spinning, cut off double team, gives it out to Bond. Out to Ballard. 4:05 to go. 18-6. East Carter leading Lex Cath here on the PrepSpin Traditional Bank Holiday Classic on Night Vision. Pinkerman. She's got a couple of baskets. She's done a good job offensively, but she's got to get some more help. Pinkerman's got it deep on the left side to Ashley Freebus, the sophomore. Freebus going to the basket, cut off. Pinkerman, and she threw that air ball up, but trying to save it in was a Bond, but coming out there with it is Hall.
Nobody in the vicinity there where she tried to save it.
Hall stops, gives to Gallion. Gallion has it knocked away. Good defense there by Lex Catholic. Sarah Bond doing a good job there. Back in the game will be Harley Painter, and going out will be Langstaff. And back in Bailey Brainerd, and going out Gallion as the revolving door continues for East Carter. 18-6, they lead at just 3:15 here to go in the first half. Painter, they've been very patient here, and I'll say that. Down
They
low,
are.
Here's Brainerd, a little short on that left-handed shot.
She's going to get called for over
the back. That's a good call there.
You know, watching Lexington Catholic try to move the ball, you know, and watching it especially in their offensive zone, they're all collapsing to one side. They're not spreading out like they should. And look at that defense.
Yeah, East Carter's press is really good. And they got a turnover there. Mayo backs it back out with 2:49 to go first half, and they lead 18-6. And here's a three off the mark. And on an attempt there by Hall, rebounded, coming out there with it is Pinkerman. Pinkerman cut off there by Brainerd. And a bad pass and picked off, and Brainerd's got it on great hustle there by Mayo. The other way to the basket, and a whistle foul called on the Painter move to the basket. Called that on Freebus. That's her second.
Painter with a nice move to the basket. She knew she was going to get fouled, so she went with it, tried to get that shot up anyway.
Harley, a 7th grader. She came in and scored 2 baskets right off the bench in the first minute, and banks at home. 5 for Painter. 19-6, East Carter.
As a 7th grader, she's definitely playing with quite a bit of maturity out there too.
And she clanks that one in. Didn't use the board as much, but it hit the back of the rim and rolled in. That's all that matters. 20-6. This press causing all kinds of havoc for Catholic. They're lucky just to get it across court. As I said, nearly didn't get that one across, but we have a reaching foul call.
Brainerd a little frustrated with that call there. Saw her throw her hands up saying, hey, what'd I do?
Yep. So Catholic 1 foul away from being in the bonus now with 2:20 to go in the first half. Low scoring affair. East Carter 20, Lex Cath 6 here. Ball knocked away there by Hall. Haley Hall, the junior, with 8 points.
I think something went decided to spill on the scores table.
Should always have a lid on it when you're at the scores table. Good hands there by Bailey. Then a steal by East Carter after I say that. Here comes Kristen Mayo. Down low, they swing it now. Just checking in. First time we've seen Green, Jassy Green, 22 for East Carter. First time she's been in the game.
Oh!
High pass over the head of Hall, out of bounds. Turn it over to the. If
catch by the
Lex
ref.
could get this down to single digits with a couple of baskets here in the last minute 54, you never know in the second half. But you got to have some momentum going into that locker room, I think, Aaron.
Absolutely. You can't be stagnant in your play and expect anything to happen right out of the gate in the second half. It's going to be one of those things where they do need to build a little bit of momentum. You're absolutely right. They just need a couple good buckets just to say, hey, we're still in this.
Pinkerman has it deep in the corner. She'll line it up, and it's an air ball, but pulled down there by Sarah Bond. Bond kicks it back now. Pinkerman to the basket, off glass. No, draws the foul. Good job there by Pinkerman.
Way to stay with it and see the opportunity she had there.
Lakin Pinkerman, a junior. She's got 4 of the 6 points for these. She's got all the field goals. They only have 2 field goals there in the first half. Free throw too strong. Given has a couple of free throws. So just 2 baskets is all Lex Catholic has been able to make here. Minute 25 to go in the first half. And good free throw there by Pinkerman. She's got 5 of the 7. 21-7 East Carter. Minute 23 to go here in the first half of the traditional Bank Holiday Classic.
Actually, should be 20-7. They gave the bucket on the wrong side.
Left side is Clark. Swing it around to Hall. Out top, and that three-pointer won't go for Mayo. Knocked down. That should be Catholic basketball as it was knocked out there by Clark. It looked like Melina Clark. Yeah, it is 20-7. Catholic needs a 3 and a few more buckets here to go into the locker room with something to get fired up about coming out for the third quarter. They move that ball well. Bailey's got it.
Seeing that opportunity there, I would try to move up and at least pull a shot off there.
Given, who got the pass, and as she turned around, tried to shoot, was fouled. So Given to go to the line, shoot a couple of free throws, where Aaron earlier in this game, she nailed both her free throws. She's a southpaw. Rolls off.
Good form on her shot though.
Gallion in and going out will be Clark. 56 seconds here in the first half. Be interesting what adjustments Catholic makes at halftime. Free throw knocked down by Given. All 3 of her points at the line. She's 3 of 4 at the line. 20-8 East Carter. 54 seconds here in the first half. That's a Mayo very methodically and casually working across the timeline. Gets the pass back, goes over to Hall. Hall trying to dump it down low. As we said, first time in the ball game was Green. And Green kicks it back out and it goes out of bounds.
41 seconds here in this first half of action.
Kristen Mayo is taking instruction from head coach Easterling. Looks like East is going to run the clock out here in this first half, go to the locker room with either a 12 or 14-point lead, depending on what they do here with this possession, down to 22 seconds. Yeah, they're just going to run the clock out because Catholic's back in his own defense. Now Coach True brings his team out, and there's going to be a foul on Given. That's only the 5th team foul, so no bonus yet. And if you're Catholic, Aaron, you still got a foul to give.
Yeah, at this point, it wouldn't be worth pursuing if you're down. Still have one more foul to give. It's not worth pursuing the opportunity to get the ball back. And
Haynes checks in. Olivia comes out, quickly fouls. That's the 16th foul, so you got one more foul before the bonus.
Trying to prove me wrong on this.
11 seconds. Mayo gets it. Go to Gallion, trying to go down low, and that's Hall to the basket, lays it in. Hall has 10 points.
that's going to do it.
Be a commanding East Carter lead here at halftime. East Carter 22, Lexington Catholic 8. Lead of 14 points by the Lady Raiders. We'll come back here with halftime, but a little bit later, it's 22-8 right now. East Carter leading Lex Cath here at halftime. The traditional Bank Classic here on the PrepSpin and Night Vision.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White, Greer, and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White, Greer, and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
Life is a journey, a series of steps, and along the way, we'll all need someone we can count on for good advice and sound decisions to keep us balanced and healthy. Someone who really listens and truly cares, with a healing touch and a human heart. Like the doctors of Lexington Clinic, personal care you can count on every step of the way. Lexington Clinic, your doctors for life. Life is a journey, a series of steps, and along the way, we'll all need someone we can count on for good advice and sound decisions to keep us balanced and healthy. Someone who really listens and truly cares, with a healing touch and a human heart. Like the doctors of Lexington Clinic, personal care you can count on every step of the way. Lexington Clinic, your doctors for life.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S sports. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
Gary Ball with Aaron Rose. We're back here at halftime, and East Carter dominating defensively, leading 22-8 over Lexcath here at halftime. And Aaron Rose has the first half numbers for you.
Yeah, you're looking at a pretty good game for the East Carter Lady Raiders here. Kristen Mayo she doesn't have any points. However, she's already dropped in 6 assists today. Talk about finding the right player.
Did a lot of that in transition.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Bailey Brannard, 2 points. Harley Painter, and she has an assist. Harley Painter with 6 points. Haley Hall with 10 points. She's leading all scorers here. And then Melina Clark, 2 points, and Hannah Gallion, 2 points as well. Really the only foul trouble we're seeing for East Carter is Melina Clark. She's already got 3 fouls in this contest. But, otherwise you don't see a lot of rebounds for East Carter. 9 offensive rebounds, 4 defensive rebounds. Those offensive rebounds were huge. They got a lot of second chance points there because of those. But really overall the numbers, that they have the lead on Lexington Catholic. Lexington Catholic, Lakin Pinkerman, and it looks like Given. 5 points for Pinkerman, 3 for Given, and that's all we have on the points column for Lexington Catholic. 1 assist going to Ballard, it looks like.
It'll be interesting to see what Coach True's adjustments are coming into this third quarter, Aaron, because they really had no answer for that East Carter press in the first half. How many turnovers did you say for Lexcath in that first half?
Turnover 16.
16 turnovers.
Yeah.
And I'd
compared
say,
to 5 for East Carter.
I would say those 16, 10 at least, and maybe more were out of that press.
Had to be.
That's the difference in the ball game.
I would say that's a pretty safe number. 25% field goal shooting for Lexington Catholic, 35% coming for East Carter. Nobody has hit a 3 this game, and 66.7 apiece for free throws.
And you say nobody's hit a 3, and yesterday against Belfry, Lexcath hit 7 3-pointers in that game. Brainerd, Mayo, Hall, Clark, and Langstaff, same 5 that started. And East Carter will check the Catholic starters after this possession here by East Carter. They lead 22-8 as we start the second half. Swing it around to Hall. Turn around by Clark. In and out. Good box out there by Osborne. It's Caroline Osborne, Ashley Freebus, Jay Ballard, Sarah Bond, and Lakin Pinkerman. Pinkerman had a pretty good first half, I thought.
Absolutely.
She had 5 of their 8 points. Angling left is Ballard. She bounces over now to Osborne. Caroline, left side free throw line extended. After her, there's Hall defensively. Had Pinkerman for a moment, didn't get it to her. And they swing it out to Freebus. Freebus cutting down low, and that is Bond. Put it up, no good. Battle for Pinkerman, and good hustle there by Pinkerman drawing the foul. And the foul's going to go on Haley Hall of East Carter, as Aaron Rose had 10 of their first half 22 points.
Haley Hall, the leader, and talking about her just absolutely getting ahead of the defense. That's where she got a lot of points, was in transition, and Mayo was her go-to on that.
Yeah, exactly right. Caroline Osborne angling right, cut off. Osborne out top, wide open from 3, and it's in there. A 3-pointer by Sarah Bond, and she got the a gentler roll, didn't she?
She got the roll. She got the points. That's all that matters. And now we're seeing a little bit more of aggression coming out of Lexington Catholic here.
Bond trying to pick up the pace, pick up the tempo, knock down the big 3 by Bond. That's her first basket of the game. It's 22-11. That lead has been cut promptly in half with that 3-pointer. Let's see if Catholic can make a little mini run here in the third. Down 11 now, down 14 at half with the ball's Hall. She might have got away with a double dribble. And it goes to Clark. She goes down low to Brainerd. Brainerd, and a jump ball called, and possession arrow will give it to the Lady Knights. A little spark here by Lexcath. Of course, surged by that 3-pointer by Sarah Bond.
Talk about a great start. I was saying at the end of the first half, it would be hard to do that. And guess what? They have defied the odds here, and they're there's a new spark, new aggression to them. You can see it in the face. Yeah. Absolutely.
Pass over now to Ballard. Ballard left side, left elbow, looking for the picks. Ballard out top, Pinkerman. Pinkerman, right side. She's cut off. They're moving the ball a little bit better, but there's the ball gets away from them, and Mayo's going to pick up, and she's going to have a bust out and lay it up and in.
They are moving the ball better, as even though they did just turn it over. The feet are moving more, and they're spreading out. So, it looks like Coach True definitely had some good words for his team at half.
Ball knocked away, picked up there by Ballard, whistle, and I think we have a foul called. Yep.
It's going to be on Given. Oh, I'm sorry, not Given. I was looking at the wrong team, Langstaff.
Ballard set to put it in play. Gives to her teammate Bond. Back over, and there's a three-pointer. Won't go for Ballard out of the deep left corner. Coming out of there with it is Kristen Mayo. Good pass, and what a great no-look pass to Hall. She laid it up. A dozen now for Hall, and just like that, when Catholic had cut it to 11, it's to 15, the biggest lead that East Carter's had, 26-11. 5.5 to go here in the third quarter. Gary Ball, Aaron Rose here on Night Vision and PrepSpin. The traditional, and there's just a give to Hall, and she'll have a wide open layup with the left hand and missed it. Rebounded by Lex Kath. Coming out of there with it was Freebus. To Ballard. Ballard stopped, thought about the three. Now gives it out top to Freebus. 5 minutes and 6 seconds in the third, and East Carter leading 26-11 over Lex Kath.
Wide open.
Osborne knocked down the three. Osborne says, come on, girls. We're not out of this thing yet. 26-14. East Carter's lead cut to 12. 4:50 to go here in the third at Lexington Catholic, Danny Haney Court.
She was ready for that one.
Ready to fire. And here's a long three, and that's knocked down by Mayo. She says, okay, I can match that. 5 for Kristen Mayo now.
And all of a sudden, we're seeing 3.
Yeah, raining threes here at Danny Haney Court. Danny Haney could shoot outside, too. 29-14. Ballard dribbles in, over to Freebus. She lost it, picks it back up, though. Freebus in, she double dribble. That's a good call.
Talk about a legendary figure in Danny Haney.
Yep. Danny Haney built this program here at Catholic into a powerhouse. 29-14. East Carter by 15, lead in leather, as I say. That's Brainerd. She's been kind of shut down tonight with 17-point average, held to 2. Here's a long shot out of the corner, won't go there. And a shot by East Carter's Hall, who has a dozen. Rebounded by Lex Kath. They swing it right side, and here's a three knocked down by Bond. They have hit 3 threes here. Check that. Wait a minute. That's 4 threes they've hit here. And they had only 8 points at halftime, right?
Exactly.
So they've hit 3 threes here in the second half. Shovel pass.
So that's all they hit is 3 so far.
Yeah, they've hit 3 threes. Had not made a 3 in the first half. Hit 7 against Belfry. That turnover, by the way, will give it to Lex Kath. And coming in for the Lady Knights is Given, the freshman, who had 3 free throws in the first half. And going out will be Lakin Pinkerman, the junior.
We're seeing a tale of 2 halves here. Just like we were talking about with the Dunbar game. Tale of 2 halves, and this is something that Coach Sure has to be proud of.
And Aaron, if you hit a 3 here, if you're Catholic, you knock down a shot here, it's going to really make them think, I think. Here's a shot out of the left side. They had to look.
Still alive, though.
Down low, and Catholic gets it back on great hustle. With the balls, Caroline Osborne spinning, throwing it up. No, right side off glass, and it rolls off. And great battle there by Bond. Sarah Bond gets it back. Bond. Out top she goes now. Down low they go. Right side. Shot put up. Foul called on Hall. And that will send Lexington Catholic to the line. A little better movement on the basketball right now. They're right below us. If people don't know, but we broadcast in the corner here. We're not at center court. And that was right. That basket's right below us here in the crow's nest, I call it here at Danny Haney.
I like it. I like it. I'll tell you this. The aggressiveness of Lexington Catholic, of the Lady Knights right now, it's second to none. They're getting rebounds. They're going in there, and they're pushing the boards. This is a team that, I know Coach True wanted to see in the first half.
Back in the game will be Gallion for East Carter, and going out it looks like will be Langstaff. So they are going with Mayo, Hall, looks like Brainerd, and they also have Gallion in there, and with the basketball is Painter. The Painter's the 7th grader. 29-18. Here's a long 3. Bullseye by Mayo. She's hit 2 of them here, Aaron. 8 points in the quarter for Kristen Mayo. If it wasn't for her, Catholic's right in this thing. She's got 8 points. in the quarter.
Yeah, in this quarter alone, that's absolutely
take those
amazing.
8 off the board, and Catholic, this is a tight ball game. 32-18. East Carter to the basket. No, some contact, no call on the drive there by Freebus. Here's Painter. She lost control of it. Good hustle there. Nicely done by Freebus, diving on the floor, coming up with it, hands it now to Ballard. Ballard thinks about the three, goes right side. Here's a three-pointer knocked down by Osborne. Second three by Caroline Osborne, and it's 32-21. I tell you what, East Carter has seen enough. It's been a three-point barrage here. 4 3-pointers in this quarter and 1 free throw for Lexington, 32-21, 2:07. But Aaron, at least they're making a ball game out of it.
Exactly. You know, he's got Coach Easterling. Sorry, he's got Coach Easterling thinking right now. You know, the adjustments that Coach Strew made. You know, this is a completely different team than we saw in the first half. They're dropping threes, they're being aggressive,
and they're moving the ball.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. They're moving the ball, and they're spreading out, too.
Yeah, they're spreading.
They're not collapsing to one side like they did in the first half.
Spacing, they like to call it. The coaches, NCAA coaches, you got to get the right spacing.
Right.
And Catholic spacing is much better here in the second half. That's why they're getting open threes and knock down a couple of threes. And, of course, Gibbon has the free throw. They've made 4 3-pointers. They got 7 against Belfry, but they hadn't made a free throw. What were they three-point-wise on your stat sheet in the first half? I'm not sure they attempted more than 1 or 2 in that first half.
3.
So they were 0 for 3. They've made
3.
Here's a left-handed shot rolled in there by Hall. Hall has 14 now, and she's right at her average. 34-21. Catholic gets it to Sarah Bond. Back to Ballard with a minute 39 in the third. Been a good third quarter, Aaron. Catholics played much better in this quarter.
In both ways, it's been a very action-packed quarter here, and I just got her in trouble. That'd be a foul, though.
Yeah, foul called and a little reach there by Mayo.
I
remember a player in that Ashland area, O.J. Mayo. He's playing the NBA right now.
Yeah.
Remember Rose Hill Academy?
Absolutely.
Pass stolen away by Hall. Hall leads it out to Mayo, and Mayo drives, lays it up and in. That's 10 points in the quarter for Kristen Mayo, and it's back to a 15-point lead for East Carter, 36-21. Sarah Bond gets the pass left side with a minute 10 to go in the third quarter. Aaron will have the next game for you here tonight, and then, of course, back tomorrow for all the action. William Moorfield, I believe, will be here tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back Tuesday night with the semifinals. Skip it left side and to the basket, and the shot rolls off there for Witt. Katie Witt had a good look at it. Katie just couldn't get it to go. 36-21. Last seconds of the third to the basket. Mayo up and in. Wow, what a quarter for Mayo. Had not scored in the first half, and she has 12 here in the quarter.
Yeah, she's making up for it.
Almost a steal there. Be a reaching foul on Haley Hall. Hall had 10 in the first half. She's got 14. So those two have combined for 26 points, Mayo and Hall. Brainerd's been held pretty much in check. Aaron Rose with 2 points. She was the leading scorer coming in with nearly 17 points, nearly 8 rebounds a game.
You know, that's a surprise to really see that she hasn't gotten much action there. But the thing is the rest of her team is making up for that too.
Ballard has it with 20 seconds here in the third quarter. East Carter's going to take a nice lead into the final quarter. And here's a reach and a steal. We'll talk about Brainerd diving on the floor with 13 seconds. Coming out of there with it is Mayo. Mayo bounce passes and overshot her intended receiver there, Jackson.
Yeah, Mayo was she had her vision, but just got a little bit too anxious there, and that one sailed out of bounds.
8 seconds, and here's a pass picked off by Brainerd. Brainerd into the lane, left-hand shot won't go, and right side put up and in for Gallion.
Nice play there by Gallion. You know, talk an 8th grader, you know, going in there and, you know, just had her opportunity. She said, I'm going to drop this in. And she got her free throw too. So old school 3-point play, nicely done by Gallion.
As good as Catholic played in this quarter, East Carter has extended their lead, which was 22-8 at halftime. They've extended it to 20 points, 41-21. We'll be back with the final quarter here from the Traditional Bank Holiday Classic at Lexington Catholic. Danny Haney Court after this time out on Traditional Bank, and also brought to you by Night Vision and PrepSpin.
Life is a journey, a series of steps, and along the way, you'll all need someone we can count on for good advice and sound decisions to keep us balanced and healthy. Someone who really listens and truly cares, with a healing touch and a human heart. Like the doctors of Lexington Clinic, personal care you can count on every step of the way. Lexington Clinic, your doctors for life.
Gary Ball back with Aaron Rose. Thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying this high definition here at Danny Haney Court, campus of Lexington Catholic, the traditional Bank Holiday Classic. 41-21. East Carter will start with a 20-point lead here, starting to last the fourth and final stanza. Mayo takes it inbound. Catholic still in that zone defense. Pass down low to Brainerd. Brainerd with the left hand and rolls it up and in. Bailey Brainerd, her second basket for the junior. 43-21, 7:34 to play. Lexington Catholic beat Belfry. And, of course, East Carter, one of the highest ranked. They're in the top 20 in the state, so they got to buy into this game. Catholic had to beat Belfry to get a date with East Carter. Now Catholic will drop down to that loser's bracket. Their game tomorrow will be played in the old gymnasium here, so we will not have that game here on PrepSpin for you Catholic fans watching. Sorry about that, but don't have the technical setup capabilities in the old gym like we do here in the new gym with the internet. Just harsh realities, right, Aaron?
Absolutely.
Ball on the floor. Good job there by Freebus. Picks it up, and Catholic gets it back out top now to Sarah Bond. Bond looks like East Carter's gone to a zone defense. Playing a lot of attention to Freebus, who's knocked down some threes. Bond gets it out high. Back out now to Freebus. Left side it goes to Pinkerman. Pinkerman, high pass out there to Freebus. Freebus goes now to Pinkerman. As he was trying to line up that shot out of the left side, she forgot one thing.
The ball.
The basketball. Turn it over, 6:34 to play. That was a lot of movement for not even get a shot at the basket.
You know, that's got to be frustrating
for
these players. I mean, they're trying to fight back, and as they're fighting back, all of a sudden, East Carter says, I don't think so, and they're expanding their lead. They just want to try to break into it.
Hall. Here's a long three, a rainbow shot. Won't go over there by a young lady who just checked in, Taylor Jackson. Freebus, long shot out of the baseline, in and out, and tracked down. Good rebound there by Gallion, as you said, just an eighth grader.
You know, East Carter's future's looking good because you got just a couple Raider players. You got Gallion, and then of course Painter. You know, a couple of those players, they're playing hard and they're making stats. Painter's 7th grade. I mean, like we were mentioning earlier, there are a lot of younger players playing, which sets them up for a great future if you're playing that much as a 7th or 8th grader.
No doubt. Pinkerman gets it deep in the left corner, throws a bad pass though, and trying to track it down. It's going to be over and back as Ashley Freebus was trying to track it down before it got in the backcourt, but turned it over to East Carter. 5:40 to play. Who you got coming up next tonight, Aaron?
We have South Warren and Butler coming up.
So Butler and South Warren coming up, Aaron. We'll have all that action right here on the traditional Bank Holiday Classic on Night Vision and PrepSpin.
Hard to believe we've played, 3-4 games already today?
Yeah, and had all the action yesterday. I called the Belfry Lexcath girls game yesterday, won by Lexcath 53-30. Here it's all East Carter. They've dominated this game with their pressing defense. That's been the difference in my opinion. Their press just they caused 16 turnovers in the first half.
I mean, that's numbers you see over a game.
Right.
Not in half.
And that's something Coach Drew talked about to me last night. He said, we've got to keep our turnovers down against East Carter. They weren't able to do that in the first with 16 of them. First half. 43-21 here. Ball knocked out of bounds with 5:06 to play. So South Warren and Butler coming up about 15 minutes after the conclusion of this. We'll wrap things up very quickly here on the postgame show. 43-21 26-21, 5 minutes to play. With the basketballs, Painter, the 7th grader, and here's a shot by Briner. She's going to be fouled. She falls to the floor. Briner with 2 baskets tonight, averaging nearly 17. She's a 5'11 junior. East Carter, I'm trying to see if there's any seniors at all. Langstaff is the only senior that starts.
That's the only senior.
Yeah.
You have 4 juniors, couple freshmen, and 2 sophomores. And the rest are 7th and 8th graders.
Brainerd gets them both. 6 for Bailey. And back in the game for East Carter. Jackson in there now, along with Gallion. And in the game is Taylor Hall. And they join Painter. Shot out of the corner by Sarah Bond, too strong, and rebounded nicely there by Jackson. Jackson wanted to push it. Quickly in the front court.
Sarah had an open look there, too.
Comes over to Painter. Painter throws one up off balance. Picked up, though, and stuck in off glass by Gallion. That is 7 now for Hannah Gallion, the 8th grader. 47-21 East Carter by 26, 4:22 to play.
And we're counting down here.
Good hustle by Gallion in the steal. Leads it out now to Painter. Right side, all high off the glass, won't go for Hall, and whistle, and somebody I think was out of bounds.
Yeah, it was given. Her back foot, right foot was on the baseline there.
4:09 to go in this contest. East Carter. Inbound to Painter. Painter throws it up, and a foul called on the contact with 4:06. We'll send Painter to the line for East Carter.
Painter plays with such a great maturity on the floor. You know, for a 7th grader, I can't. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. Her maturity is great, and with her playing like this, who knows what she'll be like when she's a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
Right.
You know, it will be a great career to follow.
Like Scath, of course, a young team as well. They do have Osborne's a senior and Sarah Bond, but they've got a lot of good young players back as well. 47-21.
And you got to think in the upcoming years.
Three-pointer rolls off out there, out top for Ballard, and there's Caroline Osborne battling like Caroline Osborne does. She battles in there.
Talk about a great trait, too. I mean, she's a senior, and she's showing that leadership that needs to be out there as a senior.
He's hit a couple threes here in this second half as Caroline comes over to Ballard. Ballard launches a long 3, back of the rim, no. And good hustle there. Let's see what the official says. Says knocked out by East Carter. As he saw getting a hand on that was Hall. 3:39 to play, and it's East Carter 47, Lexington 21. Osborne thought about that 3. Probably should have taken that. Freebus swings it around to Given. Back to Osborne. Osborne, a little hanging, and
there
put it in. She will get the soup and the sandwich. 8 points for Osborne here in the second half.
Great play by Osborne there, staying with it, staying up on the pressure. I mean, there was 3 players surrounding her, and she was able to get it up and over.
In and out. Osborne with 8 points, all 8 here in the second half. And Painter dribbled it off her foot, picked up there by Osborne. Leads it out now to her teammate there, and that's Ballard. Over they swing it to Given. Ball picked up by Ballard out top. Back over to Given. She goes to Sarah Bond. Bond hands it back to Given. Caroline Osborne with 2 minutes and 56 seconds to go. And East Carter is going to move on in the winner's bracket, and Lexington will drop down to the loser's bracket and play tomorrow in the old gym. Here's the shot, and it's a three-pointer knocked down by Osborne. That's 11 in the half for Caroline Osborne, 47-26.
Great movement there on the ball. They found that cross-court pass and found her wide open. Nicely done.
2:30 to go in this contest. East Carter will move to 5-2. Catholic will drop to 5-5. 2:23. Here's a three-pointer, and that's off the rim. And, boy, what a good job there by Sarah Bond to just rip that ball away from the East Carter player.
She said, "My ball, you can't have it."
You're not going to have this one tonight. That is my basketball, my gym. Shot out of the left side by Sarah Bond. Won't go. Gets it back, though. Bond turns, throws, and draws the foul there. Good job by Sarah Bond to draw the foul and go to the line. And, boy, how about Kentucky losing to that game yesterday to Ohio State? I didn't see that one coming.
I'm glad I didn't watch it because I probably would have had a remote through the TV. But
yeah, I DVR'd it. So, yeah. But so I was able to fast forward it through a lot of the lowlights.
Yeah, that was a major surprise. But, this is not the same team that was here last year. And it's going to be a work in progress. And I see people yelling, NIT, NIT. No. They're going to mature. And, I think once a couple of players decide to flip the switch, then it's going to be a completely different team.
Yeah. We hope so. Jackson very slowly works it across the line, gives it up over to Painter. Loop it down low to Gallion. Gallion saves it on the baseline, knocked away. Gallion gets it back, leads it to her teammate, high off the glass there for Green. It won't go. Green just checked in. 47-28, minute 39 to play. East Carter's going to win going away. They're up right now by 19 points with a minute 30 to play. Right side, Osborne just needs to go ahead and shoot that one. They skip it way out top there to just checking into the ball game for Catholic was Katie Witt, number 13. She's in there to join as well. Bailey, Courtney Bailey's in there, number 32. Bailey tried to get the ball to her, but she lost it with a minute 12, and here comes East Carter. Taylor Jackson to Hall. Skip it over now to Painter. Turn around Green and lays it in. 49-28 East Carter. Check all the action out later. It'll be Butler and South Warren tonight and all the games here tomorrow from the Traditional Bank Holiday Classic. William Warfield and company will be here tomorrow. I'll be back Tuesday night with the semifinals.
And we like to thank our sponsors.
Yes, thanks to all those, White, Greer, and Maggard.
And also Traditional Bank, who's the host.
Ball hit the rim on the pass attempt, goes out of bounds. Good hustle there by Lex Cass Bailey.
We also want to thank Collins Bowling Center and our friends over at the UK Federal Credit Union.
Yes, thanks to all those sponsors. And Traditional Bank, of course, for being the title sponsor of this holiday classic here at Lexington Catholic. 34 seconds, that's all that remains. East Carter will advance to the winner's bracket and play tomorrow, and Catholic will drop down to the loser's bracket. 28 seconds. Out they go now to Jackson, trying to go down. Gouge stolen away by Lex Cath. Coming out there with it is Haynes, Olivia Haynes. Haynes now, the basketball. Skips it deep in the corner there to Given. Back they swing it now to Tanner. That is Sophia Tanner, the senior. Sophia looking. Here's a three-pointer, and that's an air ball by Bailey. And that's the ball game. East Carter 49, Lex Cath 28, your final. And Aaron, final thoughts here from the Danny Haney Court, Lexington Catholic. East Carter wins it going away 49-28.
Lexington Catholic, if anything went different in the first half, we would be seeing a completely different game. You cannot have 8 points in the first half and expect to win. But, Lexington Catholic can't dwell on this game. That they need to come back, and they're going to play tomorrow in the old gym. They need to come back and
we probably need to check that. He might have just said that they played here in the Buter at 4 o'clock, so we probably need to check that.
Okay. Let's
bracket.
just pull this out here.
Winner's bracket, they would have moved to, the winner here moves. They would have played, if they won, they would have played tomorrow night at 7:15. So let's see, if they play here in the Buter, then that will be on PrepSpin, on the night vision. I'm looking at the schedule here. Game 16 loser. It's hard to follow this bracket. Lordy. Especially when you got, your vision's as bad as mine.
Okay, so we have Mercer.
They lost, so they moved down to the losers bracket in the bottom
Right.
bracket here. So maybe they do play at the Buter tomorrow.
It may very well be. We'll have all that together. Now you can go to PrepSpin. You
Yes,
can go to
yes.
Knight's Vision. You'll see the full schedule.
Well, what I'm saying is
what's
if they play here tomorrow, I'll actually be calling the game. So it
Exactly.
makes a big difference to me. So,
Exactly.
But I
Well-
can't follow this bracket at all. It sounded like the PA announcer said they play here at 4:15, but I thought they moved to the old gym. Let's take a break and try to figure that out. We want to
Okay.
let people know because we got plenty of time before Butler and South Warren play. So let's take a break and we'll figure out this bracket.
All right, we'll be back in a minute here on PrepSpin.
And indeed, Lexington Catholic does play here at the Buter Gym where we've got all of our equipment set up. So I'll be here to call that game tomorrow at 4:15, and we'll find out who their opponent's going to be. It's probably already been settled, but so they'll play here at 4:15. They lose 49-28 to East Carter. They move on to the winners bracket. Great working with you, Aaron. I'll be back tomorrow at 4:15 with the Lexington Catholic Knights game in the loser bracket.
All right, well, William will probably be here as other jobs call my name, unfortunately. So
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, Gary, and that will do it for this broadcast. Thank you for tuning in to PrepSpin. I'm Aaron Rose alongside Mr. Gary Ball, and I'll have the next game for you here in just a couple of minutes. Tune into that one. Thank you for tuning in to PrepSpin.